Here's the Mustang we'll try to get home. It's a 1973 Mach 1. It looks pretty rough. The body is relatively rust-free, has a lot of surface rust, but as far as cancer that's all the way through, relatively rust-free. Welcome back to Flatline Garage. You guys know that Julie and I are suckers for a good auction, and you don't get an auction like this every day, where you have a bunch of cars that are coming up for sale about 15 miles away from the house. And you know the motto for the channel, from the pasture to the pavement, and these are literally pasture vehicles. Today's the preview from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock this afternoon, so I'm going to head out here and take a look at them, see if there's anything we might be interested in. Mostly old Fords. Got a Mustang, got an old Corvette, I think a 74 Corvette, got an old 50s Chevrolet pickup truck. So they're just kind of a mix of everything. The auction is tonight, 7 p.m. and I'm not sure we'll be able to afford everything that we want, but we may be able to pick up a thing or two here or there. So I'm gonna head out to the preview, and then I'll pick you guys up once we get out there, and we'll take a look at some of the rigs and then maybe see how the auction goes this evening for us. So see you guys when we get there. House. I heard the guy had started building the house and it looks pretty nice, but inside it's just nothing but bare studs. And I'd heard that he had started building it and then figured out that it was either going to cost too much to finish or cost of living would be too high in it, and never finished it. But man, he's got stuff everywhere. One of the ones that I'm interested in is this Chevrolet wrecker pickup back here. Probably will go for more than I want to spend, but it's a 54 Chevy with a wrecker bed on it, and I think the bid right now on it's about $3,500, so I'll be curious to see what it sells for. Got the winch on the back and the wrecker arms. I'm also probably interested the most in this pickup cab here. It's a 74 Ford, and Julie's pickup, the one that we call Ray, is a 76 Highboy, and the doors on it are terrible, and there ain't much of this that's good except for the doors, but the doors on this are good. I think the bid on this right now is $100. And there's one driver's side door on Facebook Marketplace about an hour and a half from where we live that's $100. And then there's some a couple hours away that's about $150 a piece. So the bid on this at $100, if I could get this for $150 or $200, it'd be money well spent or a wash on door cost, and I wouldn't have to drive to do it. So pretty interested in this. And then there's just all sorts of stuff. There's an old International wheat truck out there, just all sorts of junk iron. Got some buses that are just full of junk. Hard to tell, but just tires and cans and stuff in those. Here's another one. You can kind of see in there, see that it's all full of junk. Metal wheels and rims, old boxes on stuff. Got a combines in the background, and fuel tanks and blowers, and just got all sorts of stuff here. Got some more tractors over here. Got an early 60s Ford pickup with a cab of another one in the back, it looks like. And then it's a pretty rough mid-60s Ford. They swapped the blue doors out with the orange doors on that blue one. But yeah, it's be interesting to see what it sells for. I believe the bid on this one right now is $1,000. So got the old inline engine. Just stuff everywhere. I was a little surprised that the property brought $195,000. I didn't know for sure what it would bring with the house being unfinished. It does have a trailer house there next to it, but I'm not sure what sort of condition that's in. Here's these old buses again, and I think the bid on those are like 20 or 40 bucks. I think just mostly scrap iron. Oh, there's kind of a cool little windmill blade. Yeah, that's probably worth the 40 bucks that somebody bid on the bus. There's that pickup again that I'd like to buy so we can rob the doors off of it. We got this old International wheat truck that somebody has put tractor tires on the rear end of it. So I'm not really sure what we're doing here, but looks like fun, whatever it is. Yeah, got maybe an old Bel Air over there, and some more equipment and combines and trucks. Not really sure about this thing. I guess this is probably a deer stand, a bus up on scissor lift of some sorts. Yeah, got the camo paint, so somebody's hunting out of it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Got another old tractor sitting over here. Got a wheat truck there. Make it back around here to the tractor here, and again we have this mid-60s Ford. Got the orange doors from the one out in the pasture, and it's actually in pretty good shape. The interior's got a lot of stuff in it, but the truck itself got a old V8, probably what, a 352 maybe. Got another old mid-60s Ford. Then another old mid-60s Ford. Then we're back around to this 54 Chevrolet. Not really sure what I'd do with it, but it'd be something fun for the channel. Go out and pick up rigs with a old school tow truck. And it's really pretty clean. It looks rust free. The inside's in pretty good shape as far as an old truck goes. Need a lot of work back here. Need the winch re-spooled. Need some lights gone over. Be a fun winter project, getting it up and running, seeing if we could tow something with it. I'm sure we could find something fun to do with it. Man, getting it out of here would be a problem. That's, I'm not exactly sure. Everybody'd have to get all their other stuff first. Be kind of a job just getting stuff out. I'd kind of like to buy this orange pickup here, have a flatbed around the farm, turn it into a bee truck. Honeybees, the only trucks I have boxes on them, so it'd be nice to have a flatbed. And this one must have also been used as a tow truck, because it's got a winch up there, and interior's decent. Need cleans up. Smells terrible. But I think we could make a bee rig out of that. Got a 73 Mach 1 Mustang that's really straight and relatively rust free. Got a 302 in it. The interior in this one is just pretty well trashed. It's an automatic. It's hard to see. Got some surface rust. The paint's peeling, but overall the body of the car is real nice. I think the bid on this is $4,500, and comps on Facebook Marketplace are about $7,000 for cars in similar condition. So I would be interested in it, but it's just going to put us over the limit, I think. Especially if I can get either one of these trucks bought, this orange truck or that old Chevrolet. And then in the barn here, there's an old Corvette. It's pretty well gutted. Got the steering column out of it. Got the interior torn up. And a '69 Thunderbird that's in really good shape. Looks to be relatively complete. All dusted up. When I was out here earlier, I looked on the inside, and it's pretty nice inside. The interior just seems to be in pretty good shape. Then got this '74 Corvette. Looks like it's in decent shape body wise. Looks like he's been working on the engine. Looks relatively complete. The interior on this one was gutted though. There's nothing in it. Steering column's all torn apart. Seats are out of it. Just got a bunch of junk up in it. But it looks relatively complete other than that. Here's this Ford pickup here. Engine looks relatively complete. All right, well, it's getting close to auction time. So I say we go home, flip on the auction, and see what sort of luck we can have. Well, we're headed back out to the auction site. The winch truck, the '54 Chevrolet tow truck, man, I wanted that one. That was probably what I wanted about the most out of everything. And someone had the bid at $31.25, and I was the only other one bidding on it, and they must have had a maximum bid set, because every time I would bid, I would get outbid. And I run the bid up to $4,500 and told Julie I was done, and Julie said, well, don't stop if you really want it. So I run it on up to $5,000, and they got it for $5,125. I just couldn't justify spending more than that on it. Then bid on that orange truck and got a steal of a deal on the orange truck. Got it for $1,250. And what's interesting is I really wanted that cab so we could get the doors off that white cab for Julie's truck, Ray. And the bid on that was $10 when we started out, and I had the bid at $300, which $150 a door. I thought that's probably about like the marketplace prices. And some old boy outbid me on it, so I bid a little more. Had to bid at $4.25, which seemed way overpriced for me, and they outbid me and ended up getting it for $4.50. So somebody wanted that cab awful bad. But the interesting thing about it is they paid $4.50 for a cab that's just been sitting in the dirt, and I bought the whole truck on that orange truck for $12.50. So I feel like I come out pretty good on the orange truck. And then here's the other deal. This Mustang, man, I'm like a moth drawn to a candle. This thing tempted me, and I thought for sure somebody would bid $6,500 on it. So I threw a bid in there, just knowing for sure I'd get outbid, and nobody bid again. So we're going to get to bring home the Mustang for $4,750. So it's a little more than we wanted to spend all in all, and it's not at all how I figured it would turn out, because I was expecting that we might get the gray tow truck and the orange truck, and I was not expecting to get the Mustangs. I went out to the auction yesterday because I had won a couple of other items, went to pick them up, and I run into the grandson of the man that had passed away, and they were selling his estate, and he had told me that this truck had been parked, he thought, since 2019. The tag on it is 2017, but he thought that it had been driven since then and it parked in 2019. So we know it hasn't run in 4 years, but he said that it was, his grandpa used it quite a bit to haul stuff around the farm, so I know that it ran when it was parked. He also said the Mustang ran when it was parked. He said that he drug it home from Arizona for his grandpa about 10 years ago. The interesting thing about it is the tag that's on it says North Carolina. So somehow the Mustang went from North Carolina to Arizona, and then 10 years ago it was trailered from Arizona to where it sits now. And he said that it ran when they parked it, but it hasn't ran since they've parked it, and it is just a rat-infested nightmare. So we'll drag it home and see if we can get it fired up at home. We'll get the truck trailered home, we'll get this trailered home, and we'll tinker on them from there. So for now, I think I'm just going to try to put some air in the tires, see if I can get them aired up where it'll roll onto a trailer a little easier. All right, I got all the blocks out from underneath it, got the chain tied on, so when we come back, we'll shove this truck back and see if we can get it on a trailer. I'm not sure if we can turn it tight enough to get it back in here to have a straight shot down the road, but this Mustang, I think we're going to have to tie onto it and try to drag it down that road to get it where we can get a trailer lined up to it. So I think it's just a matter of moving them a little bit and pulling them on a trailer. So we'll do that when we get back. Thanks for joining us as we drug these two vehicles home from the auction today. After visiting with Julie, I think we're going to name the orange pickup Buzz, since that'll be our honeybee truck. Probably paint it some variation of black and yellow. And then the Mustang, I think we'll name her Prom Queen, because Julie has a story about her mom going to high school prom with some guy that drove a Mach 1 Mustang. So we may see if we can find a picture of that and paint this some variation similar to what that Mustang was painted back in the day. We haven't done much wrenching on this channel yet, but man, these projects are stacking up, so I really need to get the shop cleaned out and get some cars in there and get going on rebuilding some cars. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see us work on these two, plus some of the other projects we have stacked up, and we'll see you on the next one.